Can we survive without Carey Price? That is the question, and we will find out right now. The lineup will be the same lineup that we had in the last episode. Michael DiPietro is between the pipes. Let's get a look at the Nashville Predators. Can the Preds take advantage of this? Their key player, as you can see, Tyler Seguin. So that's a bit scary. 91, 92, and 90 for their ratings. I don't know, of course, because it's a fantasy series, who else is on their team at this point, but knowing they have Seguin is a little bit scary, although Seguin might be hurt. Is Tyler Seguin hurt? Oh my god, yes he is. Okay, well, that changes things quite a bit. Both teams dealing with a major injury. Let's take a look, though, at the team we're actually going up against. Top line is Alex Killorn, Andrew Poturalski, who is a creative player, I do believe, and Mikhail Bodker as their top line. Obviously not great, would be a much better second or third line, but in saying that, they'll probably rip us apart in this episode. Second line is Jonathan Marchessault with Vlad Nemesnikov, so a little bit of a Tampa theme so far. Zachary Senyshyn on that second line. How did he do in the regular season? I know it's the Bruins series. Okay, so he was doing even worse for them in this series than he did for us in the Bruins series. Their third line, Zach Sanford, the newest St. Louis Blue, is with Radek Faksa and Brett Ritchie. So a little bit of a Detroit. No, damn it, Dallas combo there, not Detroit. I got Detroit on the brain. I'm sorry. Andrew Cogliano is with Nick Shore and Brandon Sutter, who's down to a 79 overall on that fourth line. Very well-rounded. I imagine Sutter, his biggest issue right now is probably morale. I imagine he's still like an 84. So that is a very well-rounded lineup. No elite players in there at the moment, but no weak spot. Defensively, still pretty well-rounded. Sammy Vatanen and Jared Spurgeon, or Jared Spurgeon, as Don Cherry likes to say. Second pairing is Brian Dumoulin and Mark Pysyk. And the third pairing, Alex Edler and Ryan Sproul. So defensively not great either, but really no extreme weaknesses. Yeah, Edler's an 82, but he's still capable, I would say. Now, of course, they are dealing with a lot of injuries, but first up the goaltending, you have Oscar Dansk in 85 overall, with Lou Domingue as the backup. And then you get into the injuries. Mario Lucia, who I believe is a Minnesota Wild prospect, is there. Tyler Seguin is, of course, hurt. And Nilo Hallinen, who I imagine is their normal backup, 84 overall. He is currently injured. Brady Gilmore, a designated scratch. So that tells me right there, with Gilmore being an 83, that Sutter's issues have to be morale related. He has to be a higher overall. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in the lineup, simply put. I am not confident. I'm not. They have a very, very well-rounded team, which, Sutter's struggling. Edler, perhaps not the greatest right now. This could be tough for us. All the pressure in the world is on Michael DiPietro to be able to shut them down. Whether or not he can do it, it is time to find out. It is game one on home ice, first period, and that's a good start. For the most part, Athanasiou gets the opening goal on Dansk. I say for the most part because we were outshot 14-8. But we have the lead, and that's all that mattered. A very early goal, too. 22 seconds into it. Not too shabby. Second period, can we hold on to that lead? We can't, but we do get it back. Podorowski scores on DiPietro, but then Tyson Jost gets it back. And we have the 2-1 lead as we start the sim on this third period. Can we hold on? I imagine we're going to need some insurance. The shots are about equal now. If anything, we've taken the advantage. We've definitely taking the advantage now, and it doesn't matter. Zach Sanford ties this game. Another power play here for Nashville. That's killed off. Next goal wins this game. No doubt about it. And we're going to have to wait until overtime to find out who it's going to be for. Not good. Not good at all. We got pretty much, 14-8's not killed in shots. We end up, though, with 39 shots to 30 in a 2-all tie at this point. Connor McDavid, Drew Doughty. I could name half the damn team that should be expected to score the GWG here. And we get it. and it's Stelios Mateos. What a goal for him. He went from not having two, or Stelio Mateos, no S on his first name, but he went from having not all that much pressure on him, being on the third line to start the season. We trade Dylan Strome. He gets put onto that second line, and he gets the GWG. 2 assists for Klim Kostin, but the man of the hour, 30 saves for Michael DiPietro. He is your first star, and we strike first. We have the 1-0 series lead. Not too bad at all. And really, when I was talking about I could name half the team, Mateos probably isn't one of the guys I would have named. There might even be some guys on the third line, like Tyson Jost, that you might expect to score that game-winning goal before Stelio. But he got the job done, and let's hope we can have a repeat performance here. Although I'd like to just, smash them 6-0, as opposed to having to go to overtime. But a win is a win, and by any means necessary, that is for sure. Second period, game 2, first period. Jesus. I'm feeling off on this episode. I don't know why, but we will keep going forward. First period of game 2, and that is a much better start. Klim Kostin and Connor McDavid with the goals, and we have the 2-0 lead. Unlike Nashville, able to take advantage of the shot advantage in that, able to take advantage of the shot advantage. Probably could have phrased that better and worded that better. Second period, and Michael Del Cole makes it 3-0. Killorn gets a goal back from a pretty odd angle, but I'm okay with that. DiPietro, knock on wood, is doing well so far. Let's see if he can keep that up. We are up 3-1 as we begin the third period, and Cogliano scores early. That's not good, now is it? Power play for Nashville. That is killed off. We're looking better. I'd really like us to get that fourth goal. Ask and you shall receive. Michael Del Cole on the power play. 4-2 Blues. Faxa scores. That's really not good. But Clayton Keller, the empty netter, I think it was even on the power play. Well, that was a scary third period. Could have gone without that. But as we said, by any means necessary. And we got the job done there. A 5-3 victory in game 2. Not too shabby. Michael Del Cole, 3 points. Connor McDavid, 3 points. And another star for Klim Kostin, another 2-point night. Having a very strong start to this playoff campaign. And we have that 2-0 series lead. We go to Nashville as the Chicago Wolves play their last regular season game. We'll find out who they play in the Calder Cup playoffs after game 3. Which we're jumping right into. No reason to stop. We're picking up the wins. Hopefully that continues. First period here in Nashville, and it's David Lavin. I always want to say Levine, because that's how it's spelled, and how it probably should be pronounced. But apparently it's Lavin. I'm going to call him Davey. Davey with the opening goal. At 50 seconds into it, another very early strike for us, too. 13 shots to 6. Let's hope that we can keep this up in the second period, and boy, can we. Alex Ovechkin on the board for the first time this postseason. Brady Shea gets on the board, as does Dmitry Koltsov, the third defensive pairing, chipping in offensively. 4-0 Blues after 40 minutes. We will just start the sim here. This should be over. 11 shots for Nashville before they were on that power play. That is a very rough performance. Stelio Cantos, he makes it 5-0. And the Blues are rolling. Who needs Carey Price? We don't need Carey Price. We were talking about potentially trading him after this season. And if a 5-0 shutout for Michael DiPietro in a playoff game isn't an indicator that we can succeed without the strongest goaltending on paper, I don't know what is. 24 save shutout. 2-point night for Ovi. Brady Shea gets the third star of the night with his goal. And the Blues are looking just about unstoppable right about now. Not a good look for the Nashville Predators, is it? To be down 3-0 to a team that is without Carey Price. In fairness, still no Tyler Seguin, I do believe. And we can actually take a look. The Chicago Wolves drew the Iowa Wild in the first round of the Calder Cup playoffs. And if all things go to plan, we will be able to follow along with that series if we sweep, or should I say when we sweep, the Nashville Predators. So let's do that. First period of Game 4, and we are scoreless for the first time. I'd say Nashville won that first period, outshot, but we are still scoreless. Second period, okay, well, whew. My first reaction was, I was going to say, you got to be kidding me, but it kind of came out like I was saying Jew, which could be, I don't know. If it did, and I said, no, I mean, it's just saying the word Jew offensive? How would it be? I don't know. People are weird. What am I even talking about? Nemestikov, Sanford, and Spurgeon make it 3-0. Now, how many people are going to be like, oh, you mispronounced Spurgeon, without hearing what I said earlier? Who knows? Koltsov gets another goal, but we are down. Why was Koltsov right in front of the net? That is strange. We are down 3-1. The Preds not exactly giving up just yet. Hopefully the offense can wake up. Now they're really going to have to wake up. Andrew Cogliano scores again. 4-1 Nashville. Didn't see that coming. Thought we had a really good chance for the sweep, but unless we just light the world on fire in this last 5.5 minutes, we will go back to St. Louis for Game 5, and that is exactly what is going to happen. A strong second period for them, and the Preds are still alive. That's all right, because now we get more of that home playoff money. That sweet, sweet playoff money. Let's take a look, though, too. Can the Chicago Wolves pick up a victory in Game 1? They can. All right, good start there, and we will jump straight into Game 5 on home ice. I would like to think we're going to end this series right here, but you never know. First period of Game 5, and that is a much better start. Klim Kostin, the opening goal. Second period, Bodker tied it. Drew Doughty restores the lead. 11 shots in that second period for Nashville. I believe they were at 5 shots at the end of the first period. Doughty gives us the lead. Can we end this series right here and right now? Alex Ovechkin gets the goal. 3-1. We're on a power play. Nothing doing. Power play for Nashville. And Mario Lucia is back in the lineup. Makes it a 1-goal game yet again. Can we hold on? 5 minutes to go. And Athanasiou with the goal. That should do it. Yes, it will. Liljegren, the empty netter. So long, Nashville. The Blues are moving on, winning this series in 5 games. A nice empty net goal for Liljegren there. That's considering his point production this season was pretty goddamn terrible. That's not too bad. Ovi, the first star, with a 2-point night. Klim Kostin, another strong performance. Is Ovi injured? Oh my god. Ovi is the first star of the game, but he gets injured. And unless we make it to the Stanley Cup final, and that series goes long, Alex Ovechkin's career might be over. A broken right foot for the grade 8. We survived without Carey Price. Can we survive? Can we survive without Ovechkin? And even worse, now we have to take somebody. I hate that glitch. Now we have to take somebody away from the Chicago Wolves, who are in a very, very good spot in their playoff run. That is tragic. For both teams, that is just tragic. God, I don't know who to call up either. William Karlsson's probably the best well-rounded option. It's not going to be Brett Davis. We could put Reed Gardner. We could call up Reed Gardner. Like, you know, that shot power, the slap shot's ridiculous. We could call up Reed Gardner, like almost put him right into Ovechkin's spot. Eggenberger, not a bad option. Is listed as a 4th-line guy, too. And then Zadina. It's Karlsson or Gardner. It's Karlsson or Gardner. And it might be Gardner. It might have to be Gardner. Although the best option would probably be to put Jost on the second line now. It's got to be William Karlsson. He's the best all-around option. I am so sorry, Chicago, for taking away your best player, but we have no choice. I cannot believe this has happened. That is unbelievable. So Costin will go up to the top line. He deserves that. We'll put Mateos on the right-hand side. Jost will be the new center there. And let's see. So we're going to probably want Bellerive. So let's see. It's all right. Lavin's not a center. Although, 76, 77, 87, 86. Oh, yeah. So Athanasiou and Karlsson will have to be the centers. They are the best option. So then, who do we go with? We probably go with Davidson, Athanasiou, Lavin, Zacha, Karlsson, Bellerive. I don't know if we can survive without Alex Ovechkin, man. I don't know. Ovi and Price both out. Oh my God. Let's just go best lines for the playoff race there, and let's see, is there anybody scratch that we'd probably rather prefer to be in the lineup? Kennins, not necessarily. No, I think we're okay. God, why'd that have to happen, EA? That is such a cheap shot. That is such a cheap shot. Let's see, minor league top 2. So who do we want there? We're going to want Bjugstad there. Bjugstad, making good progression. He was an 80 the last time I checked. And then we can go with, who was missing here defensively that was taken out? That would be Furtak. I knew we were missing somebody. Well, let's get him a spot here. We'll have him on that left-hand side, and the goaltending, Vitaly Fedorov's up to a 79. Oh my God, that progression is insane. He's gonna be, I said, if he could get around to, high 70s, maybe even an 80, he'd be our starter next year. Carey Price's career in St. Louis is done. Like, that's confirmed. Carey Price is done. Our tandem next year will most likely be Fedorov and DiPietro. I mean, when is Carey coming back again? Actually, I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go to, what's it called? Manage? Yeah, manage rosters. I think Carey Price's career here is done. He's back in 9 days. Ovi's out for, I was confusing him with the Ovi thing. So Carey is back, but this is his last run with us. I mean, unless Fedorov, makes it to like an 82. Fedorov could realistically end up being an 85 overall because of off-season progression. It could be that crazy. But without Ovechkin, what will we be able to do? Without William Karlsson, the Chicago Wolves lose in overtime in Game 2. They win in overtime in Game 3, though. Can they get rid of the Wild, or are they going to that decisive Game 5? Price might be back. We can sim this next game for the Wolves. We are playing the Minnesota Wild, who will be looking for revenge as we eliminate their minor league team. But, yeah, all right. So, regardless, both teams end up facing each other. We play the Minnesota Wild in the next round. Is Carey Price 100%? We can't even put him on the bench because that would be risking injury. But, man, what will William Karlsson be able to do for us is the question. Carey Price is not fully healthy, so he will not start in Game 1. I do have faith in Michael DiPietro, and hopefully I am rewarded for that faith in the next round. You take a quick look, though, at our player stats from that first round. Not too much room for mixing up the lineup, but the good news is Clean Costume was our leading point scorer in round 1, and he moves up onto the top line with Dow Cole and McDavid. So you'd imagine that point production will continue. The big question, as always, is what can we get out of our depth, out of our depth scoring. Davidson, Lavin, Jost, Zacha, Bellerive, if they can really wake up and start to contribute, we're going to be in a pretty good spot. The story prior to the Ovi injury was Michael DiPietro, who has a .926 save percentage, which is more than good enough to lead us to success in this postseason. But without the grade 8, who may have just played his last NHL game, What will we be able to do? The Wild beat the Hawks in 5. Of course, we beat the Preds in 5. Calgary swept Anaheim, and the San Jose Sharks beat the Winnipeg Jets in 5. So very quick series from the West. Over in the East, the Rangers beat the Flyers in 5. Pittsburgh beat Washington in 6. Ottawa swept Buffalo, and Toronto beat Boston in 7. Quickly, too, looking at the AHL as the Chicago Wolves wait for the outcome between Rockford and Grand Rapids. Guys, that is it for this one. A pretty dominant performance against Nashville, but with another major injury, will we be able to overcome it? That is the question, as we once again play the Minnesota Wild in the playoffs. I don't know what will happen. That's all I can say. I thought we might be in a bit more trouble against Nashville. We really handled that situation about as well as we could. But no Ovi. At least we got him the cup last year. So if we don't get this one this year, at least we know he has at least that one cup. I just said at least a lot. Which means that is a good time to wrap up this episode. Yeah. So as always, guys, if you have enjoyed this, make sure to support the channel, support the video, support me in any way you deem necessary. And I will see you guys in the next one. St. Louis and Minnesota, yet again. DiPietro in that for at least game 1. Who knows? Who the hell knows?